जय जय श्री चैतन्य
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय
जय
नित्यानंद
अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
जय
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 8, the talks between Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, what did we discuss in the last session? Uh, Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, they sat down and they're having a conversation while all these brahmanas are looking on them. So, Ramananda Rai said that uh, after Mahaprabhu glorified Ramananda Rai, now Ramananda Rai is saying to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I can understand that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hmm? How? Because you have you don't fear you don't fear the statement of the Vedas, and going against the Vedic injunctions, you have not only touched a low born person like me, you have embraced me. So, why you have done this? He says, Ramananda Rai is saying, what caused you to act like this against going against the Vedas? It's just your mercy. Hmm? And this is your nature to deliver. You are the most merciful, and it is your nature to deliver the fallen souls, Patita Pavana, right? Your descent to this world is for delivering the fallen souls. So there Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quoted Sri Krishna Chaitanya, actually in the purport Srila Prabhupada quoted, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More, Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. Your descent is for the purpose of your descent is to deliver Patita, the fallen souls. Then Ramananda Rai said, actually, this is the nature of saintly persons. Saintly persons, they, it is their nature, even if they don't have any purpose to be fulfilled for themselves, still they go to the homes of the fallen people, householders. They will go to the homes of these fallen people, although they don't have anything to expect from them, they go there. Why they are going there? In order to deliver them. The only purpose why saintly people go to the homes of householders or materialistic people is to deliver them. Once again, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, substantiating his statement that yes, saintly persons go to the homes of householders just to deliver them. Also, Ramananda Rai said, he described, not described, but he said that from Mahaprabhu's appearance, that means his features, as well as his behavior, it is obvious that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody can have the type of compassion that Mahaprabhu has. You cannot find this type of compassion in anyone other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not possible for any living entity to have this type of mercy. And also the features, right? Perfect. All his features, his chest and his nose and his hands, everything. It's according to perfect measurement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So both by his appearance as well as by his behavior, it is obvious that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also, what is the proof? All these, along with me, so many Brahmanas and other men have come. We already saw they were just, like Smarta Brahmanas. They were not devotees. But simply by seeing you, Ramananda is saying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, simply by seeing you, I see that there is a transformation in them. They're crying, they're chanting Krishna's names, and they're experiencing ecstasy just by seeing you. This is the effect of seeing you, like this Ramananda is saying. So now let us see what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to counter Ramananda Rai's statements. Now Mahaprabhu is saying in response, Prabhu ko hai tumi maha bhagavatottama tomara darshane sabara drava hoila mana. Ramananda Rai said that simply by seeing you, all these persons, their hearts are melting. I've seen, right? And they're weeping and they're chanting Krishna's names. Those who are Smarta Brahmanas now, in love, they're chanting Krishna's names. So what is Mahaprabhu saying in return? Prabhu kohe, tumi maha bhagavata uttama. You are the best of Bhagavata Uttama. So see, Bhagavatas also you have grades. Hmm? So Uttama Bhagavat, the topmost Bhagavat. And amongst Uttama Bhagavat, you are the greatest Uttama Bhagavat, O Ramananda Rai. Tomare darshane savara drava hoilo man. Not by seeing me, because you are Bhagavat Uttama, Maha Bhagavat Uttama, the greatest Uttama Bhagavata. By seeing you, all these people's hearts are melting, not by seeing me. The Lord replied to Ramananda Rai, Sir, you are the best of the topmost devotees. Therefore, simply the sight of you has melted everyone's heart. You are the best of the topmost devotees. Therefore, simply the sight of you has melted everyone's heart. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Unless one is a first class devotee, he cannot be a preacher. A preacher is generally a topmost devotee, but in order to meet the general populace, he has to come to distinguish between devotees and non-devotees. Otherwise, an advanced devotee makes no such distinctions. Indeed, he always sees that everyone is engaged in the service of the Lord. When one engages in preaching work, he must distinguish between people and understand that some people are not engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. I'll say that again. When one engages in preaching work, he must distinguish between people and understand that some people are not engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. What is said here? Uttama Bhagavata, a first class devotee, a first class devotee will not discriminate. He won't see that someone is a devotee, someone is a non devotee. What to speak of human beings, even inanimate objects also he sees as devotees. So, where is the question of him seeing someone as a non devotee? Everyone is a devotee. Whatever love he has for the Lord in his heart, he sees that love in everyone's heart. Even in inanimate objects, he sees that love. Oh, this pole loves the Lord so much, it's holding up the Lord's temple. How much love this pillar has for Krishna. I have no love. This is the feeling of Uttama Bhagavat. Uttama Bhagavat does not discriminate between people. This is a devotee, this is a non devotee, this is my friend, this is. No. So, how he will preach? For you to preach to a person, you should see that this person does not have bhakti. Let me give, let me share with him, let me help him come to bhakti. You should be able to discriminate. If you don't discriminate, why you will preach to anyone? You'll go and offer obeisances to everyone. That's what Uttam Bhagavat does. He will even offer obeisances to stones and rocks on the street. He doesn't feel, you know, ashamed what people will think if I'm bowing down in the middle of the street. No, because he's only seeing his Ishta, his, his worshipable deity in everything. And also he's seeing that everyone and everything is having love, prema for the Supreme Lord. So he goes around bowing down before everything and anything. And then he'll be laughing loudly. So to the people of this world, he will appear like a madman. He's dancing, he's crying, he's calling out, falling down. So they'll see him as a mad. Can such a person preach to anyone? Because he's seeing everyone as a devotee, he won't preach. But on the other hand, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, unless you're a first class devotee, you cannot preach. So this is explained by Srila Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha about the different types of sadhus, sadhu prakara. There are varieties of sadhus. Varieties means grades of sadhus. And the grades of sadhus is also based on various criteria. You, we are all familiar with Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. But this Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, it's not a general statement. Based on a particular criterion, you can classify devotees as Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Based on his Shraddha, on his faith, you can classify as Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Based on the type of worship he is doing, you can classify as Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Like this, based on various different criteria, you can classify. So, for somebody to be able to preach to others, he has to be at least a Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari, again, based on what? Based on Manasa Lingas, it is said. Based on Manas Lingas, he has to be at least a Madhyama Adhikari. That means uh, it is essential that he has to be a pure devotee. Pure devotee means what? Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karma dhyanavritam, Anukulena Krishnanushīlanam. 24/7 he is doing only direct devotional service. His endeavor is to do only Sakshat Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Like this, he'll be doing only this 24/7. That is a Shuddha Bhakta who got full Shraddha. Madhyama Adhikari has to be at least a Shuddha Bhakta. Only a Madhyama Adhikari can actually give his mercy to another devotee and bring that person to Krishna consciousness. So now generally the question that arises here, most students ask here is, but what about all of us? We are also going out and preaching. So what are we? We are not doing 24/7 devotional service. So here we should understand we are assisting. This preaching is actually being done by a Madhyama, Uttama Adhikari. Actually, here what Srila Prabhupada is saying, Uttama Adhikari also, actually he cannot preach. So what does he do? He comes down to the level of a Madhyama Adhikari. He steps down for the sake of preaching. Then you may ask, what are the qualities of a Madhyama Adhikari? This is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Madhyama Adhikari sees four, he discriminates between four personalities. He doesn't see all as one. What are the four? He sees the Supreme Lord. He sees the devotees of the Lord. He sees the ignorant or innocent. Right? They're ignorant, but they're not envious, innocent. And the fourth category is those who are envious of the Supreme Lord. He sees these four types of people. When he sees someone, he can see these four categories. And uh, his dealing is different with these four people. What is his dealing with the Lord, Bhagwan? He loves the Lord. What is his dealing with the devotees of the Lord? He makes friendship, Maitri. The devotees of the Lord, he makes friendship. What is his relationship with the ignorant, those who don't know, ignorant? He preaches to them. He shows compassion to them. He shows mercy to them and he preaches to them. And what about the fourth category, those who are envious? Upeksha. He ignores them. He ignores them. He doesn't care for them. This is the qualification of a Madhyam Adhikari. For somebody to preach, he has to be a Madhyam Adhikari. Madhyam Adhikari means you should be able to discriminate between these four. Not that everyone is good, everyone is fine, everyone is the same. No. So, preacher means you must have this discrimination. And first class devotee means what? You have to be at least a Shuddha Bhakta, otherwise you cannot preach. Unless one is a first class devotee, he cannot be a preacher. That means you should be a pure devotee. Generally, it is said. Generally, he is a topmost devotee. Now we are talking about Uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari means he will only see devotees everywhere. He won't see non-devotee. But if he is a Uttamadhikari, in order to meet the general populace, he has to come to distinguish between devotees and non-devotees. Otherwise, an advanced devotee makes no distinctions. Indeed, he always sees that everyone is engaged in the service of the Lord. When one engages in preaching work, he must distinguish between people and understand that some people are not engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Right? You should be able to tell who is envious. The preacher then has to take compassion upon such innocent people who do not know how to worship the Lord. So, within this also, those who don't have devotional service, there are two categories. One is the innocent, and the other is the envious. So, he should be able to see that first, he should be able to see this person has devotional service, this person does not have. And the person who does not have devotional service, he is either innocent or he is envious. So he will choose the innocent people and he gives his mercy to that person so that he can begin devotional service. The preacher then has to take compassion upon such innocent people who do not know how to worship the Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11 to 45, the symptoms of a topmost devotee are described as follows. Sarvabhuteshu yah pashyed bhagavad bhavam atmanah. This is what I was explaining to you. Bhutani bhagavatyatmani esha bhagavatottamaha. Who is a bhagavatottama? Sarvabhuteshu yah pashyed. In all living entities, one yah, one who pashyed, sees. One who sees in all living entities. What is he seeing? Bhagavad bhavam atmanah. The bhava that this devotee has, that he himself has to the Lord, Bhagavad bhavam atmanah. Atmana means his, right? The bhavam which he himself has towards Bhagavan, that bhavam he is seeing in all sarva bhuteshu, not just human beings, animals, insects, birds, trees, even inanimate objects also. Sarva Bhagavad bhavam atmanah. The bhavam which he himself has for Bhagavan, that bhavam he is seeing, this person has that bhavam, that person has that bhavam, this thing has that bhavam. He's seeing that Bhagavad bhavam in all living entities. What is it? It is just reflection of his own bhavam. The love that he has, he's seeing in all living entities. Bhagavad bhavam atmanah. What else does he see? Bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavatottamaha. Bhutani bhagavati atmani. Hmm. The advanced devotee sees that all living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. And also, the living entities are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Actually, what it means is he's seeing the Lord in everything. He's seeing his Bhagavan everywhere. Whether he's seeing a living entity or non-living, just like we discussed about Nirbheda Jnanam in the case of Jnanis, you remember? Nirbheda means you don't see the quality of that object. So if I'm seeing a pen, I don't see the quality of pen in that object. What do I see? I see that this is Brahman. This is Nirbheda. You don't see any Bheda Jnanam is not there. In the case of a pure devotee, what will he see? Not Brahman, he will see Bhagavan, his Ishta form. If he is a worshipper, if he is a devotee of Lord Ramchandra, he'll see only Lord Ramchandra everywhere. If he is Krishna, he will see only Krishna everywhere. Like that. So, two things he will see. One thing is wherever he sees his Ishta form. The other thing is he sees that all these personalities or things, they have so much love for the Lord. These two things. One who sees is called Bhagavatottamaha. These are the symptoms of Uttama Bhagavat. The advanced devotee sees that all living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone is in Krishna, and Krishna is also within everyone. Such a vision is possible for a person who is very advanced in devotional service. Everyone is in Krishna, and Krishna is in everyone. Krishna is in everyone means he is seeing Krishna. Everyone is in Krishna means uh, yeah. So basically, Krishna is in everyone. That means he's seeing Krishna everywhere. And everyone is in Krishna means they all have that bhavam towards Krishna. Okay. So this is Uttam Bhagavat. What is the shloka saying? The Lord is saying, you are the best, you are Bhagavatottama. Not only Bhagavatottama, you are the best of Bhagavatottamas. So therefore, by seeing you, everyone's heart is melting. Not by seeing me, but by seeing you, their heart is melting. Anyera ki kotha, ami mayavadi sannyasi, amiha tomara sparshe, Krishna preme bhasi. Mahaprabhu saying, what to speak of others? All these other people, their hearts are melting by seeing you. Why? Because you are the best of Uttama Bhagavatas. Seeing your love for the Lord, simply by seeing you, their hearts are melting in love of Godhead. What to speak of all others? Look at me. I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. Why? What's the problem with Mayavadi sannyasi? Mayavadi sannyasi means his heart will be very hard. His heart won't be soft. Mayavadi, right? So I'm a Mayavadi sannyasi because even what is the practice of the uh, Mayavadis are actually offenders. But even just Gyanis, so within Gyanis, you have two categories. One is Brahmavadi, the other is Mayavadi. Brahmavadi, Mayavadi, their practice is the same, right? First, they have to do Nishkama Karma Yoga, as we've been discussing in the 18th chapter. Nishkama Karma Yoga means you continue your karma, but without attachment to the result, tolerating pain and pleasure, like that. And then that result also you have to offer to the Lord. By doing that Nishkama Karma Yoga, you will actually realize you're not this body, you're a soul, your soul. So that is first, all Gyanis first they'll do this. And then when they get sufficient purification of the heart, they'll give up all karma and now they'll do purely only Jnana sadhanas. So what do they do in Jnana sadhanas? They will be hearing from Upanishads. Hearing from Upanishads. This is Jnani. There is another category, Ashtanga Yoga. That means after Nishkam Karma Yoga, they'll practice some Ashtanga Yoga, but the goal is you want to go and merge in Brahman. Your understanding of the absolute truth is, in the ultimate issue, absolute truth is without any form, impersonal. You want to go and merge into impersonal Brahman. That is your practice. But even for Nishkama, so what happens with Mayavadis is Nishkama Karma Yoga, I said, is common for both Mayavadis and Brahmavadis. But Mayavadis are Mayavadi Krishnera Aparadhi. They are offenders of Krishna. Why? Because the reason they are called Mayavadi, because they consider Krishna's form to be Maya. That is why. They consider whether Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, right, Bhagavan's form to be Maya. Ultimately, there's only Brahman. When that Brahman is reflected on the various Antahkarana. Antahkarana means what? Subtle body. So there are many subtle bodies. All of us have subtle bodies. So there are innumerable subtle bodies in this material world. So when that Brahman is reflected on these various Antahkaranas, which are made of passion and ignorance, then such Brahman is called Jiva, Jivatma. And when Brahman is reflected on the mode of goodness, Vidya, Vidya means goodness. When Brahman is reflected on the mode of goodness, Vidya, then that Brahman is called Ishvara or Vishnu. So what are they saying? They are saying that Vishnu is body, his body is made of goodness. Our body is made of passion and ignorance. Nevertheless, goodness, passion, ignorance, all three are material. You have to transcend. So the way my body is temporary, Vishnu's body is also temporary. Krishna's body is also temporary. This is an offense to Bhagavan because his body is not material, his body is transcendental. Because the Mayavadis consider the body of the Lord to be material, they are committing an offense to the Lord. When you are committing an offense to the Lord, you cannot get the result of your particular sadhana. It's not possible. Therefore, Mayavadis will not get liberation. But there is another category of Jnani called Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi, they don't consider the body of the Lord to be material. They accept the Lord's body to be transcendental. Like you say, Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. That means that absolute truth can be understood either as Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. They accept this. Nevertheless, because of the association that they got the association of other Gyanis who are aspiring for Brahman. So they have a natural meaning because of that association. They also aspire for Brahman, even though they understand that the form of the Lord is transcendental. They're not interested in going to the spiritual planet and serving the Lord, having a relationship with the. They're not interested in all that. Their goal is Brahman. They want to go and merge into Brahman. There is no offense because they are not saying the Lord's body is material. Brahmavadis are not committing an offense. Therefore, Brahmavadis will get liberation. They will go and merge into Brahman. Will Mayavadis do Mayavadis go and merge into Brahman? No, Mayavadis will not merge into Brahman. In fact, Mayavadis will go to hell because of offense to the Supreme Lord. Okay, why was I saying this? Because here, both for Mayavadis or Brahmavadis, both are aspiring for Brahman, but both have to actually take their their process initially consists of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga. That means they do that karma and offer the result to the Lord without attachment to the result. They're offering it to the Lord. Okay? So here what we are Mahaprabhu is saying, I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. So what happens in Nishkama Karma Yoga, you have to realize that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. When you have this body, you have a subtle body and you have your karma from past. Naturally, you will be affected by likes and dislikes. You like something, you don't like something, right? Whether you take food or people or whatever. But their practice is, these Gyanis' practice is to make their hearts very hard so that the heart is not moved by emotions. Whether you get something, which is pleasing to the senses or something which is displeasing to the senses. In both circumstances, you have to remain same. The way they achieve this is voluntarily putting the body through tapa, right? In hot summer, they will sit in the middle of fire, putting the body through pain. Why? To realize that I am not this body. The body may be going through pain or pleasure, but I am not this body. That means they make their hearts very, very hard so that the hearts will not have any vikara, any transformation. Whatever they see, there should not be any attraction. So, therefore, when someone becomes a sannyasi, they will be unmoved by anything, pains, pleasures, nothing. It will not. Their hearts become very, very hard. So Mahaprabhu is saying, I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. Mayavadi sannyasi means what will you expect? That their hearts will be very hard. Do you expect them to cry and weep and have emotions and feelings? No. But Mahaprabhu is saying, all these people, their hearts are melting by seeing you because you are the best of the Mahabhagavatas. What to speak of these people? Even myself, who am a Mayavadi sannyasi, who am not even a devotee. Devotee will have feelings and emotions for the Lord. I'm not even a devotee. I'm a non-devotee. Although I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee, I am also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you. What to speak of others? Huh? So this is the proof that you are such a great devotee. You are the best of the Mahabhagavatas. What to speak of anyone else? Even a hard-hearted, non-devotee Mayavadi sannyasi like me. Of course, Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu is not a hard-hearted Mayavadi, but he's saying that even a Mayavadi sannyasi like me, a non-devotee like me, I'm also floating in ecstasy by touching you. Now, what to speak of others? That is the bhava of Mahaprabhu. ए जानी कठिन मोरा हृदय शोधिते सार्वभौम कहिले न तोमारे मिलिते ei jani kathina mora hridaya shodhite. What is shodhite? Shodhite means to rectify. Ah, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood. He knew Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He knows that I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. Mayavadi sannyasi means his heart will be kathina, very hard-hearted. That is why Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya insisted that I should come and see you. Because you are such a great devotee, by coming in contact with you, even my hard heart will melt and become soft. Ei Jani, knowing this, knowing what? That you are such a great
heart,
devotee, and by coming in contact with you, I will also float in ecstasy.
my heart,
Knowing this,
my heart.
Kathina Mora Hridaya Shodhite, in order to correct or soften, treat my hardened heart, right? To
Very hard.
soften, yeah, to soften my hard heart, Sarvabhauma told me to come and see you, right? So this is his mercy or his plan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knew this would happen, that if I come in touch with you, my heart will melt. He knew it. And thus to rectify my heart, which is very hard, he asked me to meet you. Ei mata duhe stuti kore duhara guna, duhe duhara darshane anandita mana. Ei mata duhe stuti. So in this way, both of them are glorifying each other. First, Ramananda Rai glorified the Lord. You are Bhagwan, you are so great. Simply by seeing you, all these people are in ecstasy. And now Mahaprabhu is glorifying. No, you are the best of Mahabhagavatas. Seeing you, everyone is melting. Their hearts are melting. What to speak of them? Even a Mayavadi sannyasi, hard-hearted person like me, even my heart is floating in ecstasy because of your association. In this way, both of them are glorifying each other. Ei mata duhe stuti kore duhara guna. And then they are glorifying the qualities of each other. Duhe duhara darshane ananditamana. And both of them are experiencing their hearts are filled with ecstasy by seeing each other. Ramananda Rai's heart is filled with ecstasy seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart is filled with ecstasy seeing Ramananda Rai. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of the other, and both of them were pleased to see each other. Heno Kale Vaidika Eka Vaishna. Okay, then next, this is next, what do you say? It's another episode. We'll begin this tomorrow. We will stop here today. Anyway, it is time. Thank you all so much, dear devotees. Does anyone have any comments or discussions?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Thank you
Mataji.
so much for this wonderful nectarian class. Mataji, I have this just one thought that came to me, that austerity is the basis of every spiritual path, just not the yogic or the Brahmavadi or Mayavadi, because even our Goswamis were very, very austere. Of course, the
Yeah.
aim and objective of the austerity is, of course, different. I totally understand that. But they
Mm.
were also very austere, and they also had that equanimity or whatever you call sthita pragya. They would not be affected by any material loss or material gains. Of course, they never cared for it. So these things are, from what I have understood, are common to any spiritual path. These two things. Don't you think that, Mataji?
I won't tell you what I think. I will tell you what Shastra says.
Okay.
Yeah. So see, what the Gyanis or yogis do is they actually practice. They practice austerities, or what you call jnana sadhanas. These are listed in Bhagavad Gita, various jnana sadhana. So they are difficult. So it is austere to practice them. They practice these jnana sadhanas, and the purpose of practicing is to cultivate the mode of goodness. Why they want to cultivate the mode of goodness? Because in the mode of goodness, knowledge is produced. What
Mm.
knowledge? That I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. And further, after that also, after the mode of goodness, in the mode of goodness, when knowledge is produced, now they want to increase that mode of goodness. It's called vidya. To
Okay.
increase that vidya, further they have to practice jnana sadhanas, even after realizing I'm not. So, first step is tvam padartha jnana. Tvam means I am not this body, I am spirit soul. After this, further they will continue jnana sadhanas while simultaneously hearing from Upanishads. There also they practice jnana sadhanas. There the purpose is to realize tat padartha jnana. That means Brahman. They want to realize Brahman. So in the case of jnanis and Ashtanga yogis, their sadhana is to practice austerity. And the purpose of that austerity is to either get increase the mode of goodness, okay. First is to reduce, because when we first start, we have the modes of influence of passion and ignorance.
Mm.
So to completely remove, completely it won't happen, but yeah, remove passion and ignorance, and to increase goodness. And then further on also they do to increase more and more goodness, because in that goodness they want to get that knowledge, spiritual knowledge. What happens in the case of devotees? They are not, uh, we are talking about pure devotees. Okay, once you are in pure devotional service. So in when you come to, so just like in the Gyanis, I said there are two stages. One is Nishkama Karma, Yoga,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
and then Jnana. So
Yeah.
Nishkama Karma means you're still doing karma, but you're doing it with a certain quality. What is the quality? No attachment to the result, offer the result to the Lord, not being affected by good or bad, that comes. This is you're still doing karma. Later on, after you realize your soul, no karma, you give up karma, you do karma sannyas. Now
Mm.
you're practicing solely jnana sadhanas. Now,
Mm.
when you come to the bhakti side, bhakti also has two stages. One stage is called Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service.
Mm.
And before that is those who are aspiring for pure devotional service.
Sadhana bhakti.
No, no. Shuddha Bhakti, within Shuddha Bhakti only you have sadhana, bhava, and prema, three types of bhakti
Okay.
within Shuddha Bhakti. So before that is those who are aspiring for Shuddha Bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are aspiring for Shuddha Bhakti, just like Gyanis who are doing karma, we are also supposed to do karma. We do
Mm.
karma.
Mm.
But here, while you're doing karma, what is the purpose? The result you're offering to the Lord, not to realize that I'm not this body or anything, but your purpose is you
Once
want to offer it with love.
love.
You
Mm.
want to develop love for the Lord. So, we work and we get, and with that, we we serve the Lord with. So first we do some work, some job, right? Some work we do, and the result that we get by working, with that we want to serve the Lord.
Mm.
So this is not yet considered pure devotional service, because pure devotional service means there's no working separately. You do only Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. That's all you will do all day long. So, coming to your question about austerities, before you come to Shuddha Bhakti, when you're doing karma, yes, it is beneficial to perform austerities. Why? Because those austerities will bring you to the mode of goodness.
Mm.
And in the mode of goodness, for one to enter into Shuddha Bhakti, what is the qualification? Do
Yeah.
you
Mode
know?
of goodness.
No.
Oh, into Shuddha Bhakti.
Yeah, Sharanagati is the
Yeah.
qualification.
Sharanagati. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So Sharanagati is actually a symptom of firm faith, Drida Shraddha. Shraddha that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. I am a servant of the Lord. My only identity is I am a servant of the Lord. I don't have any other identity. This is Shraddha, firm faith. Anyone who gets firm faith like this, he will surrender to the Lord. And as soon as you surrender, you begin Shuddha Bhakti. After you come to Shuddha Bhakti, now, does anyone practice austerities? No, they won't practice austerities. Before coming to Shuddha Bhakti, yes, you may practice austerity. Why? Because austerities bring you to the mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is conducive to mode of goodness means we see in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, Krishna explains what is intelligence in the mode of goodness. Intelligence in the mode of goodness means to be able to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma, what is to be done, what is not to be done. That means when you are in the mode of goodness, your intelligence will be able to grasp the message of the scripture as it is. And when you're able to understand the message of the scripture as it is, what is the scripture saying? Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. You will be able to grasp that message. Then you will get drida shraddha. So that's how indirectly austerity is helping this person, aspiring devotee. It is mode of goodness. So by austerity, you get mode of goodness. Because of mode of goodness, you are able to grasp the conclusion of the scripture that I should surrender to Krishna. And when you get that shraddha, you surrender to Krishna. Once you surrender, now you begin pure devotional service. So therefore, before entering pure devotional service, you can, it's not essential that you have to, because all you need is drida shraddha. So if it's not, you cannot put a condition that unless you perform austerity, you cannot get drida shraddha. Can you say that? You cannot say that. Because really shraddha comes by the mercy of a pure devotee. If there is no mercy of a pure devotee, you cannot get shraddha. But that mercy comes in what way? Pure devotee is speaking to you, telling you from Shastra. So then when you get the mercy of a pure devotee, you will hear from Shastra. You will try to cultivate your drida shraddha. Unless you get the mercy of a pure devotee, you will not even try to get drida shraddha. So sometimes it is possible that simply by the mercy of a pure devotee, you get drida shraddha and you begin pure devotional service. So therefore, you cannot make a condition here. You're following, right, Mataji?
Yes.
If you get
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Yes.
So you cannot make a condition that you
That-
have to do
to do
austerity.
yeah.
But one more point is there here. So, but austerity is helpful. We cannot negate the point. Yes, it is helpful because austerity brings you to the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, you can grasp the message of Shastra properly. Shastra's conclusion is surrender to Krishna. So, when you get that message, now you will surrender to Krishna. Now, after you enter into pure devotional service, even though you are not cultivating, because you said a very valid point, the Goswamis are so austere, right? After you enter into pure devotional service, what happens is, without your cultivating them, all these good qualities come in you by dint of your devotional service. The difference between the Jnani Yogi versus Bhakta, Shuddha Bhakta, is the Jnanis and Yogis practice austerities and cultivate those qualities. Those qualities are in the mode of goodness. Whereas in the case of a Shuddha Bhakta, he does not practice them, but by dint of his devotional service, all the good qualities come in him. If you remember Nectar of Devotion, what are the 6 qualities of pure devotional service? Shubhada.
Shubhada. Kleshagni Shubhada.
Kleshagni Shubhada. So Shubhada means all good qualities come in you. So you don't separately endeavor, but you become austere. Naturally, you become austere. Very, very austere by dint of your devotional service. So that's the difference between, so that's why I had to explain to you before coming to Shuddha Bhakti and after coming to Shuddha Bhakti. Before coming to Shuddha Bhakti, do we practice austerity? Yes, we should practice austerity. But after, you are not separately practicing any austerities. Even your austerities are meant, everything is meant for pleasing Krishna. So the 6 Goswamis, why they were not sleeping, they were only sleeping for 1 hour or something, 1.5 hours in the night. They were hardly drinking some buttermilk.
Yes.
Because they were so engaged in devotional service, they didn't have time for anything else. Their
Hmm.
purpose is not that I have
Doing
to be
austerity,
austere.
yeah.
Not that when I do austerity,
It becomes automatic, I believe.
exactly. It automatically comes because they don't have, now they are so absorbed in Krishna, bhakti, direct devotional service to Krishna. So they don't have time for all these things. They see all
Hmm.
this as, like it's unnecessary, these things.
Okay.
Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, these things become, unnecessary obstacles on the path of, on the path of devotional service. So they minimize them as much as possible because it's not
Hmm.
required. But Gyanis and yogis willingly, they
Willingly,
have to
okay.
fight against
Fight
it.
against it.
Okay.
Yes. Agreed, Mataji. They have to fight against it. But
Yes.
Mataji, but even don't, I mean, I don't know, but don't they also have to surrender, because they cannot achieve the ultimate without surrender? What do they attain then? Because
Who?
the Gyanis and the yogis,
They
they
don't
also,
surrender.
they
No.
don't surrender, or they
No.
have to?
Not, no, they don't surrender because there the surrender means what? You are accepting the Supreme Lord as the master and you are the servant and you are surrendering before him. Their goal is Brahman. I'll go and merge into Brahman. I'll become that Brahman. Who will you surrender to if you're becoming that Brahman?
Hmm. Yeah.
There's no master servant relationship there.
But the yogis believe in the Paramatman, right?
Yogis, you have two categories now. There
Hmm.
is one yogi who is actually aspiring for merging into Brahman. There is another yogi who wants to go to Paramatma. So if the yogi is aspiring for Paramatma, then he will come in the category of, like, you can put him next to Bhakti on this side.
Okay.
Because basically the two paths are based on the final goal that you are
Hmm.
aspiring for.
Hmm.
One
Hmm.
is Nirvishesha, one is Savishesha.
Avishesha.
So Nirvishesha means Brahman,
Yes.
aspiring for Brahman. So you want to go and merge into Brahman. So with Nirvishesha goal, you can either follow Jnana or Ashtanga Yoga path. Both are possible.
Hmm.
Savishesha means it can be Bhagavan or Paramatma.
Hmm.
Both have form.
Yeah.
So Savishesha mein you'll get pure devotional service and also Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga goes both ways, in Jnana side also, Bhakti side also.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this detailed explanation. I would have
No
remained
problem.
confused. So thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
wonderful service. Danvat pranams to you. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Vatala,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Okay. That is coming back to Mayavada philosophy and Brahmavada philosophy.
Yes, Mataji.
Are they all given in the scriptures? How do they get this knowledge? Whoever is pursuing the Mayavada philosophy, are they getting it from Upanishads? Upanishad is teaching all this to them? Or
I'll tell you, Mataji.
indirectly it is not visible to them?
So Mayavad philosophy is actually the Advaita philosophy.
Okay.
Advaita philosophy was given by Shankaracharya, Sripad
Okay.
Shankaracharya.
Okay.
Shankaracharya is actually an avatar of Lord Shiva only. Lord Shiva himself came. So, how did this Advaita philosophy come? First question. Srila Vyasdev, after giving us the Vedas, has given the Vedanta Sutras. That means the essence of the Vedas. So within, there are four Vedas and fifth one is uh, Upanishads and Puranas, five total. Okay. So in these four Vedas, each of these Vedas has four sections. It has uh, Samhitas, Aranyakas, Brahmanas, and Upanishads.
Mhm.
Upanishad means it is the essence of that Veda. So, taking the four Upanishads, Vyasdev has given the essence of all the Vedas in the form of sutras. Sutras means, with few words, right? Sutra is like, it's like with,
Athato Brahma Jigyasa, right?
so yes, that's the first one. So, sutra means A very small, with very few words, so much meaning is packed inside that. So in this way, he has given Vedanta Sutras, Vyasdev. Vedanta Sutra means what? It is the essence of all the Vedas of the Upanishads. So he is given. Now, these Vedanta Sutras cannot be understood by people because, first of all, the Vedic mantras, right? And also given in such compact, cryptic form. Someone has to give a commentary. So now, Sripad Shankaracharya has given a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. In his commentary, he has given his Advaita philosophy. So, Advaita philosophy or Mayavad philosophy means now he has given his own philosophy. This is speculation on the Vedanta Sutra. How speculation? Whatever is said in the Vedanta Sutra, he gives secondary meanings to the direct statements.
Mhm.
That means when there is a direct statement about, let's say, the Lord first desired to become many, and then he has become, and then there was creation. But then he's saying, no, Brahman is not Brahman. The absolute truth is impersonal. The absolute truth is not a personality. Now, if somebody is desiring and then he is glancing on Prakriti, he must have eyes. If he is desiring to become many, desire comes from the mind. He must have a mind. If a person has eyes and mind, he should have the rest of the body also. So it is clear in the scripture that there is a person. So this is within Vedanta Sutra, this statement is there. But for that, he gives secondary meaning. Why? Because he starts off with a preface. In the beginning itself, he starts off that absolute truth is impersonal, right?
Mm.
And all living entities. So this is, as I explained a few minutes ago, about what the Mayavad philosophy is. Mayavad philosophy says that Bhagavan's body is also material.
Mhm.
Now, keeping this in the center, whatever sutras come, he will explain those sutras to support this, that the Lord's body is material and that all living entities, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Only Brahman is true, everything else is false. So, with this in the center, now he will give commentary to all the verses the in the Vedanta Sutra. So, you may question why, if he is Lord Shiva, why he had to do that, why he had to, give a philosophy which is misguiding people. There is also a purpose for that. In the Padma Purana, it is said Lord Vishnu instructed Lord Shiva to appear in Kali Yuga in the form of a sannyasi and give this false philosophy to mislead. Who will become attracted to this philosophy? Those people who are envious of Bhagavan, they will become attracted to this philosophy. So the purpose of Shankaracharya is he is using this Advaita philosophy as a net, like a fisherman's net, to catch all those people who are envious of Bhagavan. So anyone who's envious of Bhagavan becomes attracted to this philosophy, and then wholesale, anyone who takes to this philosophy, they are all sent to hell. Where is this said? This is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this. And not Chaitanya Charitamrita means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally speaking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and
Mm.
explaining this. So that's how this Advaita philosophy, Mayavad philosophy has come about, and that's the reason why Shankaracharya has even given this philosophy.
Mataji, but Lord Shiva is a number one devotee, right?
Yes,
Vaishnava.
yes,
Why would
yes.
he follow this principle and take all the people and put them into hell? He is supposed to be a neutral person, right? He shouldn't
On the
be, he's a
law,
demigod. Yeah.
he's a devotee, no?
Yeah.
So the Lord ordered him to do this. That's why he's following the Lord's order.
Hmm.
Anyone who is envious of the Supreme Lord. One who is envious, he won't surrender.
Yeah, and then why is he making exceptions to the Brahmavadis? I mean,
Because
why there is a difference? I mean, it is also given by Lord Shiva, right?
no.
Hmm.
Brahma, see, Brahmavadis means this
Hmm.
Jnana path is authentic. It is there in the Upanishads.
Okay.
Upanishads explain Brahman
Hmm.
as, the absolute truth who has no form. Brahman is explained, Nirvishesh, Nirvikar. Brahman is true. Absolute truth is understood in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. They are
Hmm.
just different phases of understanding the absolute truth. Absolute truth is only one.
Hmm.
Depending on how far away the worshipper is, he will see him. If he's far away, he will see him only as light, Brahman. If he
Hmm.
comes a little closer, he will see him as Paramatma. If he comes even closer, he will see as Bhagavan. So, Brahman is not false. Brahman is there in the Upanishads. The Lord also speaks, Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita about Gyanis. This is an authentic path. The problem with Mayavad philosophy is they are saying the body, the Lord's form is material. That is an offense. Brahmavadis don't make that offense. Nevertheless, they aspire to go to merge into Brahman. That is allowed, no problem. You want that, you can go. Although devotees don't want that type of liberation. They say it's worse than hell. Because once you go and merge into Brahman, you don't have any relationship with the Lord, you don't have any service. They think devotees consider it is better to go and rot in hell than to go and merge into Brahman. Because it's like spiritual suicide. Once you go and merge into Brahman, it's finished. Eternally you're there now. But if you go to hell, even after millions of years, you still have a chance. Maybe some pure devotees association you can take to bhakti, and then you can render devotional service to the Lord. That option will be there. But going and merging into Brahman, devotees will not accept. Who will go and merge into Brahman? Brahmavadis can go and merge into Brahman. Mayavadis will not, like that.
Mataji, so Brahmavadi, does he come back? Because once
No,
his
no,
period is over, does he fall back?
no. As
Okay.
long as he is, while he is in this body, material body, right?
Hmm.
He can, as he's progressing in this Jnana Marga, he comes to a stage called Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means he's realized Brahman now. He's Brahman realized. He's
Hmm.
Brahman realized, but still in this body.
Hmm.
At that stage, that means he's already in, you can say he's in Brahman. Although
Hmm.
he's still in this body, he's Brahman realized, Jivan Mukta. While in this body, he's already liberated. Even in that stage, if he commits an offense, either to the Lord or to a pure devotee, from that stage of Jivan Mukta, he can come back onto the material platform once again. He'll get attraction for material things. He can fall down. So whenever you hear in Srila Prabhupada's purports, somebody is falling down from Brahman, what should you understand? Jivan Mukta.
Hmm.
He's realized, he's Brahman realized, from there he's falling down. But once you give up this body, merge into Brahman, there is no coming back.
Mataji, can you give an example of the Jivan Mukta? You
Ah,
think of.
well, because we deal with devotees, so there
Hmm.
is two parts. There is Gyanis and there is Bhaktas. So we have Gyanis, we have Kumaras as example. But
Hmm.
Kumaras later on they became devotees by the
Hmm.
association, and they became devotees. So now we don't they are not counted as. So
Hmm.
Jivan Mukta, a Gyani, one who comes to that stage, he will become a Jivan Mukta.
Hmm.
So uh, yeah, purely Gyani. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
If you see the Gyani parampara, there you'll find someone who has actually achieved like that and gone and
Mataji, I don't know why Krishna should do. He loves everybody. You should be neutral to everybody. Then why is he punishing somebody to go to hell or something? And
he's not
you
punishing.
just you
He,
stay
he
there, and then he should bring about realize the soul and make sure that everybody goes to Krishna. The whole world is behind Krishna. You know.
Yes,
servant.
Mataji. Ye yatha mam prapad. This is actually Krishna's kindness. You won't find anyone more kind than Krishna. Of course,
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more kind, but you won't find anyone as kind as Krishna. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamihum. Right? As
Mm.
one so it is, he is not punishing anyone.
Mm.
They are going there themselves because of their envy towards the Supreme Lord. Krishna
Mm.
is not wanting to kill Kamsa. It's not Krishna's desire to kill Kamsa. Kamsa, by his envious mentality, he met that destination. Of course, Kamsa got killed means he got liberated. But even to be killed by Krishna, it's a great, good fortune. Then
Mhm.
you become liberated. But these people are envious. They are envious towards the Supreme Lord, and by their own actions, they are choosing. And as far as Brahmavadis who go and merge into they're
Mm.
choosing. Nobody's forcing them to, it's not like Krishna's punishing them. By their
Mhm.
own decisions, by their own actions, and besides, Krishna is sending his devotees, right? He's
Mm.
giving association, he's given us shastras to make the right decision. He will never force anyone. He spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita, and finally what did he say to Arjun? Yathechasi tathakur. I have said everything, but
Mm.
he doesn't force Arjun, you do like this. He
Mm.
will say, now you choose.
So you
So yeah, to us also, to these people also, he gave the option, but they chose the wrong path. Once you choose the wrong path, then that's your destination. How we
Mm.
can blame Krishna for that?
Mhm. Mm. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Because I just thought only Mayavada philosophy, Advaita philosophy. I didn't go back to Brahmavada philosophy. Now I
Ah,
see the distinction when you explain it to me. And
yeah.
I mean, I didn't understand because of the envious nature of people. But
Ah,
I always think Krishna is so merciful. Then he should, just like kick everybody to go into this thing. Don't worry about, merging into Brahman effulgence or anything. Just go get back to your way. That's the way I think sometimes, we need a kick in the back to
yeah,
make
he
sure.
gives, but
Mm.
some people are very stubborn, Mataji. Even after getting kicked, they don't learn. You must have
Mm.
seen in this world
That's
also.
true.
After getting kicked so many times, also, they
That's
don't
true.
learn. They'll go to the wrong side only. What can be
Mm.
done? He's giving plenty of, help. So many, like
Mm.
Mahabharata example, right?
Mm.
Duryodhan, you take for example.
Mm.
How much, he himself personally, Krishna came as a peace messenger.
Peace
He said,
messenger.
only 5 villages you give. Okay, you took everything, it's okay, we will avoid. But some people, they
Yes.
just don't. Until he died last, but until his moment of death also, he's always thinking he's right, the other person is wrong. So
Mm.
people are stubborn. So it's not that Krishna is not helping.
That's
He
true.
gave all the help. Devotees are there. So it's, what can be
Mm.
said?
Thank you,
Once of
Mataji. Thank you. I put you into a lot of things over time.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Hare Krishna
Thank you
Mataji.
all the
Thank you.
Hare
We are
Krishna.
learning a lot from you. Thank you.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhobhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you for
Krishna.
your
Hare
association.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying back.
Be-
Actually, you don't have to stay after I finish reading when there's question and answers.
Because
If
we
anyone,
want to hear the nectar.
if you want to hear, welcome. But
Mhm.
if you have to leave, you can leave. Okay, please don't feel,
We
The
you
need
Vatsala
know.
your
is the
mercy.
Nimitta Matram. But
I
we
said,
are the
I
Nimitta
said,
Matram
Mataji, we
Vatsala.
need your mercy. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving mercy, you
Yeah,
give your mercy to us.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
are
I
all
learned
taking
a couple of
mercy.
things today. So thank you very much for including me.
Thank you very much,
I
Mataji.
appreciate that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.